Throughout the last several hundred years, growth in the farming and agriculture business exploded. After that, during the 19th and mid 20th centuries, the intensive methods we use nowadays were developed. It all culminated into a method that was more intensive than ever seen before. Before, only a portion of all farms used these methods. However, nowadays, 99% do. The amount of suffering inflicted is horrendous and alarming. Every conceivable consideration that could be taken for the animals is utterly disregarded. Due to growing awareness of what happens on the majority of modern farms, these methods have been given a new name: factory farming. Large groups of animals are crammed together, used to create products as fast as possible. They're kept in horrible conditions and treated like tiny cogs in a machine. Different animals are mistreated in different ways, but there are common factors. Hundreds of thousands of animals being crammed into tiny spaces too small to stretch or move, diseased animals sleeping in ammonia and feces, cutting off body parts without painkiller, castration without painkillers. Animals that normally live 20 years are killed when they're only a few years old. Some animals are killed months, weeks, days, or even minutes after birth. Other common issues include the overproduction of milk and eggs, separation from parents, and crazed bored animals resorting to cannibalism. Even traditional forms of farming have involved the suffering of animals. It's inevitable when animals are sold and killed to create a product, especially if business is growing and the animals need to be managed. But the methods used nowadays are far past the point of anything acceptable. Any person today will be able to see that. These methods exist to keep up with consumer demand and the growing population of 8 billion people. 200 years ago, the population was only a billion people, and it had taken all of human history to reach this point. 100 years later, our population exploded to its current number of 8 billion, or more precisely 7.5 billion. People who want to use humane methods must consider that their competitors will not. Those loaned spaces to raise chickens must deal with exploitative business practices. It will be difficult, but large reforms are possible. Small token reforms, such as a couple extra inches of space, will not do. These will merely kill momentum and go ignored. Even these large reforms, or as I call them, basic emergency measures, are still band aids, and we will need more sustainable long term solutions. But there are important steps you can take as an individual. But first, you must be aware that there's a problem. This is more of an informational video. There are so many things to talk about when it comes to factory farms. In a different video, I talk about the impact on human workers and the environment. But first, I need to go over what happens to the animals. There are two ways to watch this video. There's the long version, and then there is a separate playlist, which is divided into multiple shorter videos.